Brothers in Tech is a weekly podcast focused on personal and home technology, helping provide you, our fellow brothers and sisters in tech, with some information, assistance, and recommendations. It's the Brothers in Tech Suggestions, or Bits, episode, where we share some new tech with one another, whether it be a gadget, website, or app. Time for the brothers to see if they can one-up each other by introducing a new tech that will not only gain brotherly approval, but potentially lead them to spend some or a lot of cash. It's the Bits episode here on Brothers in Tech. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Brothers in Tech here on the Mesh.tv podcast network. My name is Alan Jackson, and over here to my right is Brian Jackson. For those of you watching video, you can see that I was tilting my head in his direction. Mm-hmm. But if you're on audio, it really makes no difference. Brian Jackson is here as well. Brian, how you doing?
I'm good, Alan. Good, and I absolutely appreciate your use of nods and gestures and everything for the people that are joining us on video. We'll just talk through them. But yeah. Alan's nodding. I'm nodding
in the direction of where my brother is sitting. We are Brothers in Tech, the show we started a while back with the idea of talking over family, home, and personal technology and trying to be a resource to help people that are either maybe the quote IT person in your family, or maybe you're someone that finds yourself relying on IT people in your family to help, or you just want to find ways to really use technology in your personal or home life to make things better. And we're here to talk about ideas and topics and trying to be a resource for that. Now, a lot of times when we get together, we have a topic that we dig into. Like last week, we did an episode about furniture technology and how technology is incorporating the different furniture in your home. And that's always fun. We always have those kind of things we like to dig into and talk about. But once in a while, maybe about once a month or so, we try to do an episode where we do our Brothers in Tech Suggestions. And that is if you do the acronym on that, it is BITS, which has a nice technology slant to it. Plus it works. It's pretty clever. I say that begrudgingly, I have to say that Brian did come up with the idea for the name BITS. There it is. So Brian, good job. It was well done.
I've done one thing right throughout this entire 2-year run, and that's what I get by my count too. But that one thing was pretty damn cool. So sorry I turned off after I did that, and just been coasting ever since. But it's been good. I'm living off of the initial thought. So
the Brothers in Tech Suggestions. So yes, this is the episode where Brian and I both bring our suggestions, our recommendations to the table. It can be anything technology related. It could be an app. It could be a website. It could be a gadget. It could be a tool. Anything that's kind of smacks of technology that we have either been using recently or want to recommend that we think is pretty cool. And that's what we're going to do. So, Brian, our Bits episode, we always look forward to this. We normally end up spending money after this episode. I normally find myself buying something that's recommended here. I don't know if that's going to hold up on this one. We'll see if that's the case after this episode. But how about, I think we both have 2 items to share, right?
We do. And I'm going to go ahead and warn you that if you like what I show you, it's going to cost you money. I'm sorry. There is no freebies today. So I apologize.
Go ahead. I hope I hate it. So I'm not tempted to buy it. So, Brian, what do you got for our first suggestion?
Yeah, let me go ahead and say both of these that I'm bringing up today are things that I have purchased, and so I can have firsthand account for their use and the benefit. So the first one, Alan, you've mentioned before that kind of my world as an educator is in the world of exercise and exercise science, right? And so I'm gonna tell you just to kind of set the stage for this a little bit. So I have an interest in exercise, have an interest in kind of fitness. We just went through a pandemic, or potentially are still in, but it depends on who you ask. But we are kind of coming off of a time, or where you live. We have we went through a point where people wanted to do more of their fitness and workouts in their home. Okay, and we did that as well. So we built kind of a home gym here in our house, but a home gym in a very small space. And of course, we wanted lots of things in this very small space. And one of the things that I wanted was to have some dumbbells. Dumbbells are probably the largest taker of space if you really want a full set of things, right? So many of you have seen this before. I'm sure that this is nothing new, but the technology has continued to improve. Alan, go ahead and bring that up for me, is the Bowflex Senaptec products. And these have continued to get better. So for those who don't know, if you are someone who likes the ability to be able to have lots of dumbbells, but doesn't have space for lots of dumbbells, what Bowflex has come up with, and they're kind of the leaders in this, and other companies have started to do their own version of this. You can actually see tons of them out there. But what it is the ability to select the weight that you want to use with this dumbbell. Okay, so let me scroll here since I forgot that I'm the one doing this. So as you can see over here on the left, this is the ones that I have. So these are dumbbells that can, by turning the dial on the end of them, can change from anywhere from 5 pounds to 52 pounds. And they do that because of all those plates in there. If you turn the dial, it only releases a certain number of the plates. And you're pulling up, 2 small plates, and all of a sudden you have a 5-pound dumbbell. You turn the dial to where it locks in all of the plates, and the entire dumbbell comes up as 52 pounds. You can see the one in the middle is up to 90 pounds, 10 to 90 pounds. So let me just show kind of a visual here. So you can see a little closer that I'm showing. This is the dial on the end of these.
Oh,
so each has a dial.
I see.
Yeah, you're turning the dial, and it releases certain plates of the dumbbell. And by releasing certain plates, you're now picking up this dumbbell that has, anywhere, and I think it goes by maybe 2.5 pounds that I can increase, 22.5, 25 on up. And this has been fantastic, right? We ended up, and I will go ahead and say, I bought these used. I bought mine used. I bought them off Craigslist from someone who had them. But the technology like this, or the devices like this, it's kind of hard to beat them up. So I bought this that someone had already been using, and it feels like a brand new set. They work great. And this would be something I'd be a little concerned about with other companies that maybe have knockout versions of these, that maybe over time, clicking through the weight amounts might not release the weights appropriately, or there might be some pieces there that don't work. But Bowflex has done a fantastic job. And so I will show some of the other cool things they're doing now is they actually have kind of long bar dumbbells and the same thing. So you can see this person has the setup over on the side where they can put the bar back and select a new weight, pull it up, pick it up. And so it's that old way of dealing with dumbbells where you had to either have a huge set of weights to go from the 10s to the 20s to the 30s, or you had to unscrew, take off weights, put different weights on, which was always a hassle. This becomes a really, really clean way to have a large variety of weight opportunities, but also not take up a lot of space. And that's what I love about it. So as I said, I have this version right here that you're seeing. And it's super easy. Well, of course, I don't have the media. I have the rack, which is also very nice, because having it up in its own plate to where it's not going to be on the ground rolling around. But these are just fantastic, very well made. Of course, Bowflex does an amazing job with theirs. They are expensive. Okay, I didn't buy them new, but if you bought this new, I think it's probably in the $300 to $350 range to get the set.
Wow.
More, even if you're getting the rack to go with them. But I will tell people, compare that to if you haven't bought dumbbells before, go online to Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace and just type in dumbbells. Right now, if you buy just steel dumbbells from someone, like regular metal dumbbells of different sizes, they are so incredibly expensive. I mean, you'll pay hundreds of dollars to get a full set.
Wow.
They're just really, because again, they don't go bad, right? And fitness was something that was very big over the last couple of years where people were doing this at home. So anybody selling dumbbells was making a mint off of them. So to me, rather than buying a large range, and also keep in mind, if it was just me, if I lived in a house where I was the only person here, I probably would not need the 5 to 52. I could go and say, you know what, maybe there's 3 or 4 dumbbells that I would use a lot. But my wife is here. She doesn't need the dumbbells that I would use. And so this just works out great for us. And in a very small space of a gym, takes up a tiny bit of real estate in the corner. And yet we have kind of the same functionality. Now, the only downside I would say is that if you can imagine, looking at this dumbbell here, if you were to turn it to 5, okay, well, what it's going to do, it's going to leave all of those big plates on the rack, and it's only going to take these kind of small 2 plates on the end. So the dumbbell itself, compared to what a normal 5-pound dumbbell would be, like a little small kind of aerobics dumbbell, this is really large. I mean, this is going to be a long, kind of quirky device to be holding, but the functionality and the efficiency of it is fantastic. So, so I highly recommend this for people who have a small space, who want the functionality of having multiple weights without buying multiple weights, and kind of having it all in one. And I didn't mention that the other category of these that they have is even the kettlebells. So you can see this is the kettlebell the person is lifting here. And they even have a version of the kettlebell where, you can click it and it only pulls up part of the kettlebell to make it that particular weight. And then you put it back on it and click it to a different weight. So it's really cool stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it does make good sense from a space standpoint. I think that's the biggest advantage there is you're right. A lot of the dumbbells take up a lot of room. So
yeah. So this is a way kind of a form of technology. Now I had thought that Bowflex was still making the electronic version of these. There was for a while an electronic version where you would grab the handle, twist it, and there would be a little digital screen. As you twisted it, it would count up the weight that it's selecting, and then you just lift it straight out. Plus, it also Bluetooth to your phone to kind of had an accelerometer to say how many reps you did with something. That was a really techie version of it. They stopped making it, so I assumed that it wasn't as effective over time to have all of the digital elements to it. But these have been around for a while, and they keep the same form factor is around. That's been there for a few years. So well made. So that's the Bowflex Senaptec line. So
nice.
All right,
Good.
Alan, let me stop. So you already stopped for me. Okay.
Yep,
right.
I did.
So that's number one. Okay. That's my number one.
Good pick. I think that was good. Trying to decide which of my 2 I want to show first. I guess since it's working right now, I guess I better go ahead and show this one that is currently working before it stops working on me again. So Brian, we've spent some time in past episodes talking about video conferencing or using your webcams or cameras built on your computer and trying to get a good presentation, kind of trying to make your webcam, your web presence look good for video conferencing or work from home situations. So my recommendation is an app. It is right now, it's a Mac app. So it is for Mac and for iOS devices. And it's called Detail. And what Detail does, I'm going to bring up the website and kind of tell you a little bit about this. And I'm going to show you a little show and tell with it also. So what Detail does is it allows you to have multiple computers, or not multiple cameras that you could pick and choose from while you're on a Zoom or like the service we're using right now to do our live streaming. Anywhere where you're picking a webcam, Detail is an app that you run it on your Mac. You run the actual main application on your Mac, and then you download the Detail app onto an iPhone. And so what then it happens is when you open up the Detail app on your Mac, you can choose from different cameras that you have connected. And that could be one of them being your iPhone as a camera. You can choose from your own built-in camera on your laptop. Or if you have another camera hooked up, like a webcam plugged up, and it allows you on the fly while you're in your Zoom meeting to change cameras on the fly very easily. So let me just kind of show you what I'm talking about. So here I am. Right now, detail is running. So detail is actually the camera powering what you're seeing right now. Detail is currently using my built-in camera on my Mac, but I can just go right over to my detail app, which I've got running right here on my desktop, and say, nope, let me change over to my iPhone camera. And there's my iPhone camera. Now, I think you're going to see some delay, probably audio video sync. That's the issue I'm having right now. So that's why this is not 100% the best recommendation I can give, because using this streaming software we're using, there is a big delay when I flip to my iPhone camera. But I have the iPhone over here running with that detail app, and I can then toggle between the two. Now, if I come back to my, let me see if this works. Now, I'm really slow now. I can see my video is like super slow up there. But it should be flipping back, hopefully in a second.
The anticipation is killing me. There it is.
There it is.
There it is. Okay.
No, but it's still really delayed, right?
Yep. Now, when we tried this earlier, it took a minute and it would speed back up and catch up.
All right. Well, we'll see if that works or not. But yeah, this is the problem I'm running into now, is that my audio and video is completely out of sync. And I see it's really weird because I'm watching myself from like 10 seconds ago. And
this is fantastic.
Odd. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to change back to just using my natural FaceTime camera, because this is obviously not working like it should.
So for those
and here we go. Okay, now I'm back.
There we go.
But in theory, let me just say in theory, the way it was supposed to work, and whatever reason I'm having some issues with Chrome and it using this as I'm streaming. Normally, in a situation where I've used this in Zoom, I can just click between the two cameras and it will just change between the cameras. Now, it can also allow you to bring text up on the screen on top of your camera. So if you wanted to have like your own title underneath you when you're talking, or you want to put up a graphic that says like, hold on, or technical difficulties or whatever. So it gives you all of that. Well, I'm going to see if I can actually share the actual detail app here, and I'll show you what it looks like on my computer, the actual program I'm using. Here it is. So you're seeing right now, that is the detail app. Okay. So I've already set up multiple cameras. It's got my default camera, which is my computer camera. It's got my iPhone camera. And then I've got other scenes like slides that I've set up that I can also flip between. So just imagine you're on a Zoom call and you want to go between two different cameras, or maybe you've got one camera that's going to do a close-up of something you want to show as a demonstration. You can then just click the button and it will toggle to that other camera, and that's what people would see. If you do need to go away, but you don't want to turn your camera off, you need to walk away from your camera, you could actually put up this screen, this hold on screen, or technical difficulties, or be back in a minute, and put that up on your screen. And that's what people would see on your camera, instead of seeing your camera just turned off or just seeing an empty seat. So a lot of cool things you can do with this app is that you can, I mean, technically they say you could have multiple iPhone cameras running, and you could just use this app and just flip through whichever one you want to be your camera on your Zoom call, or your WebEx, or any of the other services you may use. Yeah. So for all that reason, it's a really cool app. Now, as we just experienced, there are some glitches and issues, me using it here on this streaming software with Chrome. Got to still try to troubleshoot that a little bit, but using it in Zoom and other places, I've had no issues. It's worked really well. And I love it's very super easy to use.
The screens, like throwing up a PowerPoint slide, basically, where you can kind of provide some text. I think that's fantastic. Yep.
So that's kind of the way it works. Again, you're looking at a really weird picture-in-picture here with this, but just showing what the app looks like that's running on my computer. And again, it's as simple as once you've got them set up, I can be in a Zoom call running Zoom, but have this running over to the side and say, okay, I want to flip to my side camera. and there's my side camera.
Yeah.
Let's say
yeah,
I
yeah.
want to have, I have a camera that's a close up of something. I can flip to that camera. And then I'm going to walk away from my screen for a little bit. I'm going to put that up on the screen instead for people to see as my Zoom presence. And it's just kind of a neat little app. I mean, that's really what it's meant to do, is just kind of let you control multiple cameras and choose which one is going to be the one shown on your web conference software.
So Alan,
now,
just to confirm for people, if you're in Zoom, you can also switch between your webcams if you have multiple of them just by going to the bottom, but probably not easily to do the iPhone cameras, right?
No, but you couldn't.
That's a little harder.
There is a way in Zoom. Yeah, you're right. If you had a webcam, if you had a webcam plugged up to your computer along with your onboard camera, Zoom will see those.
Yeah.
You can physically plug a USB cable to your iPhone and treat your iPhone as an input. Camera. I don't think you can do it as the camera, though. I think you can only do it like you can show what's on the screen. I think you can show what's on the screen of your iPhone as a source, but you can't use your iPhone as a camera.
Yeah, I think you need another app, like another app to make it a webcam, right?
That's right. Yep.
Yeah, that's cool.
So to do it all in one app is really nice. And plus, I just love being able to have text and say, yeah, I just want to put up a message, up on the screen while I'm talking on here, because Zoom doesn't really give you a capability for putting up titles or text on top of you while you're talking. So this is a great tool for doing that and making it really easy. Detail is part of the Setapp subscription. So if you're a Setapp membership subscriber, you get that for free as part of the membership. Otherwise, if you are paying for it, I'm looking to see what it is. It does have a free option. It allows you to try it for free, but I think it maybe has like a watermark symbol in the corner if you are going to use it. I don't even see any pricing. I'm sure there is some sort of pricing model on it, but I know you can get started and use it for free. And that's what I would recommend if somebody wanted to play around with it. Please don't let my audio video issue I had deter you, because I've used it on WebEx and Zoom and it's worked great. It just seemed to be kind of having some issues with this streaming software we're using. But the idea is there. That's Detail. It's detail.co is the website. So it's not .com, it's .co to go to if you're interested in downloading and trying this out. If you do a lot of Zoom calls and you ever have a need for a second camera or multiple cameras to flip between to use, this is a great little tool to let you do that on a Mac. So,
Very cool. That's good. All right. I like that.
Okay.
Yeah, and hopefully it works a little better. Out of.
I will not be using it during this show anymore. So
no, that's cool. All right, okay, that's good. All right, nice job. Let me jump back in, and I'm going to. Okay, so I'm really excited about this one. So for those who have listened to the show before, the few of you who have been regular listeners. You'll know that there's a couple of companies that I have really raved about in the last few years. One of them was Wise, right, which has always been my go-to for kind of inexpensive home device, home cameras, that sort of thing. The other one was one that I purchased recently, had it as a pick not long ago, was from MagBack. Mm-hmm. And Alan, I remember showing you this, my phone case, right? So I have the MagBack phone case, which, just a reminder for people, the part that I have shared before, magnets are built into this. Then you can also buy, which I have, the wallet, okay, my wallet, which, allows me to keep a few cards. Okay, the wallet snaps onto the back, right? And now they're both together, or be able to treat them separately. Okay, so that's the part I had before, and I've loved it. I've absolutely loved using this. It's been fantastic. It's held up great. It's one of my favorite purchases. Okay, so having done that, what I had really been drooling about lately is that MagBack came up with chargers, and the chargers that go along with their magnetic system. All right, so Alan, go ahead and kind of throw up here the MagBack. So there's a few. This is just the main website for MagBack, and you'll start to see that they kind of cycle through a few different things. The current model that I had, allowed me to put my phone in my car, magnet it up just on a tiny little magnet strip, which actually looks like this. This is the magnet strip that comes with it, very small.
Yeah.
You mount that, and it would allow me to snap on the back of my wallet. So if my wallet was on, right, and then I could put it directly on my car, or if I didn't have it on, I could put the phone directly on, right? That was great. But then there was the charging capabilities that I was really excited about. And as you can see here, I'm going to go to the charger. When this one came out, I really started getting excited until I saw the price tag, and then I was not as excited. But this multi-charger, and when it came out, what it allows you to do, right? So as you can see, there are 3 charging opportunities here. The phone goes on the front, the watch, your Apple Watch goes on the top, and your AirPods go underneath, and all 3 can charge at the same time. So I broke down and bought it, and I will tell you why I bought it, or what finally got to me, and that's going to be the second part of my display here, is that it came as a package. So here's the charger. Okay, looks in. Oh, did I do something? Okay, here's the charger. Really, really slick, right? Not too cumbersome at all. Okay, very sleek design. So I'm going to show you this plugged in now, right? So here's my charger. Right, it magnets on, and once it does, there's the charging, right? It starts charging up, okay? Now, as you do that, I don't know if you can see this or not, but there's a couple of lights on the bottom. There's actually 3 lights, and the lights will light up depending on which of the 3 things that you're charging. So there's a very small little faint light that'll come on when this is charging. Then there's a small light that'll come on if the watch is charging, and then one if the AirPods are charging. So the 3 lights, and then they fade away, which is also kind of nice, because if it's on a bedside table, it comes on very low, and then it'll fade away just to let you know that, yes, it is charging. But given that it is working with magnet, okay, it gets rid of that issue that I've always had with wireless chargers, which is I set it over on them, and middle of the night, I realize it's not perfectly on, or the next morning, I realize it didn't charge at all. This is magneted so that when it connects, it's connecting and it's charging, right? It's going to be there, and you can get a real simple click to it. So that works really, really well. You may be wondering, so it's metal, it's like an aluminum, and it's pretty light. So one of the things I was concerned about is when you put this on a bedside table and you got a magnet, what if I go and reach over and try to pull it off? Is it just going to pull the whole thing with it, right? Since it's a magnet. It has a little sticky on the bottom, but what's kind of cool here, this isn't actually a sticker. I can touch it. It's not sticking at all. It's the, what is that, like a... I don't even know. It's the plastic that if I were to rinse it, it basically provides kind of this sticky element to it. So it adheres,
kind of the idea.
It's not actually sticking, right?
It's kind of like the same technology of things you could stick onto like a mirror or whatever.
Yeah. Yep.
It has that. It doesn't adhere to it. It just kind of creates enough of a surface.
Yeah. It seals it up. So it's not going to move at all. And actually, I'm going to set it right here up front, and I'm going to move down.
Here, let me send you back to solo view so you can see.
Okay. Yeah. So all I would just say is right now you can see it right here. Okay. It's actually on my computer now. And when it's there, right, I'm pressing it takes quite a bit of pressure in order to lift it off. And when I had it on, I'll tell you, my wife today was cleaning our bedside table, and she came and she said, "Did you glue your charger down?" And I was like, I don't think so. Because I remember putting it on going, I hope this, comes up. But it was literally, she's like, I can't move it. I can't move it.
Is that a problem if I did?
That's right. I mean, that's where it needs to be, right? But no, I actually had to pry this thing away. And then as I did it, you go and you kind of wash it off, and it becomes adhesive again. You're right. You put it somewhere. Okay. So it provides enough so that when I pull it, it doesn't move, right? The magnet comes off. Okay. Now that's one part, and I love it. And as you can see here, it's $129. It's expensive. That's why I didn't want to buy it initially. I thought it was way too expensive for what it is. I thought it was more of a $70, $75 would have been probably right in the mode of what I would have done for this kind of thing. But they ran a special, and when they ran the special, they I think it was 140 maybe at the time, where you get this, plus you get, sorry, let me move to the other charger, the car charger. And this, to me, was more of an add-in, a throw-in for me. Oh, sorry, actually, that's not the car charger. There it is, the one with the mount. Okay. So they threw in the car charger for another $20, and it's already $79. So I said, okay, I'll do it. I've actually become probably more impressed with the car charger than I thought I would be. So Alan, if you'll let's pull that one down for a second, and let me just show and tell here. All right. So here's the car charger. Okay. So if you remember, I had, sorry, where are my all my stuff here? I ended up having lots of little pieces. There we go. So if you remember, this was what was connected in my car before. Okay. There's just a small little magnet that I put, I think, right on the radio. And my phone would connect to it. And it would also allow me, even if I had my wallet on, to be able to snap it up there. It was great. Works super well, will not fall off. It's incredibly powerful magnet. Well, so I thought, this is much larger. Okay, I'll show you. This is the front. But it fits to that exact same thing. So it just snaps up there. And when it's snapped up on my dash, now it allows me to, connect it, right? And I put it on. Now you'll notice it did not connect and say charging. And that's because this actually runs off of the, cigarette lighter having that much charge. I have it plugged in right now to my computer, which does not provide enough for it to charge. But super slick, right? You can kind of put it up there and right away it's wireless charging, and it keeps it in place. It's magnet on. But if I wanted to get rid of it and say, I don't want that up there right now, and I just want to go back to my minimal kind of look, I just pull it down, put it underneath, and this is still all that's there. So I love the functionality of it. I was a little worried that, by doing this thing is going to be in my car, and that means I always have to take my wallet off in order to have my phone up there, because my wallet is not going to be charging, right? You can't charge through the wallet. That's the bummer about this, right? But it makes sense. However, I realize now that then it just goes back to the same functionality as before, right? I mean, it fits on, the wallet still on, and it connects as well. So if I'm okay with just putting it up there to navigate, don't want to take the wallet off, put it up there, it still magnets on, it still holds on just fine. I will say it's less
just doesn't charge through it.
It just doesn't charge. It's not going to charge through my
through the cards, right? Yeah,
right. But so if I say, I really want to charge, I'll just take the wallet off, put it on, and then it's there. Okay. Given that this is magnet to magnet to magnet, right? You'll notice this is not quite the same. It's pretty good. It's a pretty good magnet. It's in one piece, right, or one area. But it's not quite the heavy connection that it is if it went directly to this guy. Okay. That's really strong. Sure. And I thought initially, I was like, that's weird. But no, that's actually what you want, because if it was really, really hard magnet, I would pull this off and it would pull the charger with it. So you want that connection to be less than the other connection, which is exactly what they did. So
quick question. Quick question on the car charger there. You said it goes into the cigarette lighter adapter.
Yeah.
If your car doesn't have a cigarette lighter, it only has USB ports. Does it go to USB at all?
It's a USB-C. Okay. So I guess you could probably do an adapter to maybe a USB-A on the end. But they send you the cigarette lighter adapter for a USB-C to go into.
So it's an attachment. Okay? So as long as you
have a cigarette lighter,
cable,
you're great. Exactly. Right. But you also have just a USB-C connection. So as long as you can go USB-C into your car, you should have. And assuming, now I am realizing now, plugging this USB-C into my laptop will not charge. So I'm guessing it's because of the 30 volt, or whatever the car battery is that it's running off of, probably has a little bit more juice. So I'd be interested to try that out to see, could you do into a normal USB-A when a car has a USB-A connection, whether that would charge it. And I just haven't looked that up. I assume it would. If it's chargeable initially, I would assume it can do that on the other. So,
well, regardless, and I know that was kind of like an extra thing they threw in when you bought the actual charging station.
Package,
that's nice.
I mean, that's awesome.
I'm getting more and more interested in this whole company
the
and
magnet
kind of
system.
The magnet system there. I can definitely see some real nice advantages to that. Currently my phone mounted in the car is from one of those air vent clip holders, which works
Right.
fine. I mean, I think it works
Yep.
great, but the idea of being able to actually put it up there and let the magnet attach it right away at the right position would be really nice. And just all the other benefits that come with the magnet system, with the billfold and the everything else you can
Well,
do.
the billfold's
nice.
amazing. The billfold I absolutely love. I love the ability. It's magneted on not just at one part. By the way, just a reminder for people that the billfold itself magnets kind of in a square, right? So I can't pull any of those sides very easily, which is great. So I can put it in my pocket. It's not falling off, but I can quickly take off. But when it's on there, it's super, super slick to be able to have, but I can put the wallet in my back pocket if I need to. And just a side note, they give you, 2 of these when you first order the wallet system.
Mm-hmm.
And so I ended up putting one of these at the entrance of my door, where I have a mirror where we hang our keys. I put another one of these here. So when I get home, I actually put my wallet and just snap it up. My wallet goes out of my pocket because I don't need it when I'm at home. It just sits and hangs on the mirror, and that's where it always is. And then when I'm leaving, pull it out, put it on my wallet, and go out the door. So I just think that the whole system is slick. I would just say, when you get into the system, you have to stay in the system. It's not like this is something where you can say, oh, this is going to work with everything else. I do think it works with a Apple wireless magnet charger, because they have their own magnet charger. They even have an adapter that I think that'll work to make it work with the MagBack system. But I've just been super pleased with the way that their products are working. So they're expensive. I would wait until they have a deal. Looks like right now they have a deal of something like you buy one device, you get the second one 30% at 30% or something like that. But they're overpriced, I think. But they're also, once you commit to them and you get in the system, they work really, really well. So there you go.
All right. Very cool.
That's going to cost you some money. I think that's going to cost you money, Alan. I'm waiting for you to jump in.
Between both your picks, that's a lot of money being spent. I will note, my first one was free. I mean, you could technically start using it for free, although you saw what the free results were.
You get what you pay for.
A little bit of that. This next one is going to cost a little bit of money, but it's money well worth it. And I think, Brian, it's money you've already paid, if I'm remembering correctly, for this app as well. Talking about calendars. So I've been using the built-in Mac calendar for many, many years, and have been fine with it. It's worked. It does what it's supposed to do. It keeps track of my calendar. I like the fact that I had it on my phone and iPad and on my Mac, and everything was in sync, and it worked. It was fine. But I started to notice some issues where it just would get a little glitchy sometimes. I'd have a hard time with sometimes if I change moving an appointment to another day. Sometimes they'll always automatically just snap back to the original spot and just kind of throw me off a little bit. And it was just, I thought maybe there's a better way. I've always resisted going with another whole new calendar because I always thought the built-in calendar was pretty good. So I didn't want to go out and spend money on a calendar app if I already had one built in that came free with my Mac or phone or tablet. But I did break down because I depend on my calendar to the highest degree, and I really need to make sure it works properly. And there's a couple features about this one I'm going to talk about that kind of push me over the edge to say, yes, I'm ready to do this. And I'm talking about Fantastical. Is that the calendar app you use, Brian?
Oh gosh. I love it.
Okay. All right.
I love it.
Fantastical. It is by a company called Flexibits, flexibits.com. And, it is a calendar app. I'm going to go ahead and show it. I'm going to show my calendar. So just kind of be prepared for that.
Wow, really?
I don't remember what's on there. We'll see. And let me pull that up. So I just want to show you. Yep. Here we go. Note to everybody, I do have a colonoscopy this week. It's on my calendar. Just letting everybody know it's out there now on the internet. Nice. Wish me well. I am of that age now. Yes, I have to go get that done. So this is fantastic. Now people looking at it may just right away say, well, it looks like any other calendar app. And yeah, I mean, at first blush, I think when people get a new calendar app, they're all going to look the same. Really, the key is can this do behind the scenes, or what can it be doing with additional features? I am someone that keeps a lot of calendars, Brian. I've got a work calendar, which is what you're seeing right now. I have a calendar for just personal projects I'm working on where I want to budget some time during the week where I'm going to work on some personal items. I've got a family calendar.
Like a
where my
colonoscopy.
kids,
Okay.
like a colonoscopy. Got a lot of work to do for that. Oh, you don't even want to see my prep schedule of what I've got to do the next couple of days to get ready for it. That is a whole nother calendar. My family has a calendar that we all share that I can pull up and see if kids are doing anything, Susan, my wife's doing anything, whatever. So I've got a lot of calendars. And normally on the calendar app before, I could easily just turn on and off those calendars. Say, I got a work calendar, I got a personal, I got a family, to check them on and off. But what I realized is that I also want to see the calendars of my coworkers, my colleagues at my office, just in case I'm trying to figure out, scheduling something with them. And I was having to go and one by one check each employee, check their calendar on to be able to see everybody's calendar at one time. One thing that's great about Fantastical is you can create sets of calendars and you can turn on and off those sets at one time. So right now I'm just looking at my available calendar. This is what is shared with my people I work with. And if I need to get something scheduled, this lets them schedule to this calendar. But if I also want to see coworkers, I now have a pop-up menu that I can choose different calendar sets. And if I go to coworkers, now I'm able to flip on everybody else's, my coworkers' calendar at one time. And I can quickly see, oh, wow, when do I have some availability that we're all available at the same time without having to go manually check on every single employees to do that. I can do it in one pass.
Do any of your employees have colonoscopies going on this week? Or?
No, not this week. I checked.
Okay.
I'll look to see. Yeah. Right. I also have my master calendar where I can see everything that's on my calendar, including personal things and other work times. Or I can just see my available times that I'm going to share with the public. So I can have those set up as sets, and I can make sure those sets are ones I can turn on and off very easily. It does have a nice mini calendar up in the corner. I can see an agenda list of everything coming up on my calendar, kind of in a scrolling view here underneath it as well. It's got the weather, which is kind of nice, piping into each date. So I can actually see what the weather is going to be for the rest of the week, which can be helpful for some of your calendar events. The best thing, Brian, and I don't even know if you've started playing with this yet, or even know that Fantastical rolled this out, is allowing you to do polling, inviting people to poll which date would be best for an event. You can do it now from within Fantastical. So if I go in and create an event, I can create a time slot and I can create alternate ones, create multiple alternates, and then I can invite people and say, hey, and they get a email coming to them that takes them to a little web form that says, hey, Alan wants to schedule a meeting. Which of these 4 time periods is going to work best for you? And they check the one that works best. And it tallies the results and gives it back to you inside of your calendar app. So then once you see the result, you can say, okay, I want to go ahead and set it officially for that second time slot. And when you do it, the other ones will go away. Boom, you've got your master one and everybody's invited to it. I know you've been using a service like you can book me. I think is the one.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
This basically takes the place of that, allowing people to now book on your schedule and also choose times for those meetings. I love the fact that it's all within one calendar. And once I heard that, that's when I jumped into this and said, yep, I'm ready to go. And so that's Fantastical. It is when you buy, so there's a couple ways that they handle purchasing this. You can purchase it outright, just buy the app and you own it. Or you can do the monthly subscription service to it, which I think is like $3.99 a month. But with that monthly subscription service, you also get another app. You get an app called Card Hop, which I believe, Brian, you've talked about as well before.
I have. Yeah, I use that as well. Mm-hmm.
And that's basically a calendar app, an address book app.
Contacts.
Where you keep up with your contacts and you can make scan your business cards and keep up with your directory of people. So they do let you, you can download it. You can try it for 14 days for free. If you buy the app, it is a one-time purchase, or you can do the subscription service and just have it month to month. So, Yeah, it's great.
Love
It's
it.
got
Love it.
light and dark modes for how you view it. Yeah, organizing calls and meetings is now super easy. This is what it looks like when it actually sends out a little quick poll to people, letting them choose the best time for them. It's things that we all do right now when we set up meetings. We send out all different time invites to people or ask them in an email to tell us. Then we go and manually try to calculate and figure out which one's going to work best. This app will do it for you automatically without having to use a third-party service or some other website to do it. So, just great stuff. Yes, they call it proposals.
So
Event
good.
proposals is what they use. So I'm a fan. I've been using it for about 3 weeks now. I'm really, really happy with it. It's a great one. I should have listened to you sooner, Brian, and used this. And
what was that again? Happy. I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. What did you say?
No, I didn't say anything.
No, actually, I will say, Alan, I did obviously pick this one a long time ago. But that was well before it had some of the features it has now. And I was looking the other day. So I'm someone who does not, I think we've talked about before, I do not like to pay for subscriptions. I'm not a fan. I always feel like I get sucked in and you don't think about the long-term kind of cost of that. This is one I do pay for. And it's actually there's only two services that I pay for. Fantastical is an app that I pay for per month. And then the other one is, the Apple, all-in-one service, right?
The Apple One,
sort of Apple One service. Those are the only two things that I have on recurring service. I'm sorry, I have one more, Lightroom for my photography. But those things are, they are incredibly well done, and Fantastical has been amazing. And you didn't even mention the main reason that I got Fantastical to begin with several years back, which is the menu drop-down calendar.
Oh, right.
That was the reason I got it. That was the whole reason I got it, was that I wanted to do I have the Shift Command C, which I do that little keystroke and it drops down my calendar. And when it drops down the calendar, you can actually just start typing, like new meeting on Saturday at 8 a.m. You just type in randomly, meeting on Saturday at 8. And you will see it automatically fills in. Alan's got it looks like a default of 45-minute meetings. It puts it right away and you say, great, that's it. Common language, enter, and it's on. And to me, the ability to be able to see my calendar drop down, not have to open up an app, not have to have it kind of take over my screen. And that's what its other app does. The Card Hop was the other reason I loved it, is that I now have the Shift Command A and it drops down Card Hop. And right away I can type in, a person's name and be able to sort through my directory for that. I'm a huge fan of menu apps. They don't take up space. They quick little keystroke, be able to see my calendar, put it away. And I will say I have not even used the proposed a new time.
Yeah,
I'm still someone I'm still using doodle polls and when is good polls and using my You Can Book Me. I don't think it actually takes away my You Can Book Me quite yet, because that's so that they can always see what's available and grab something. But this will take away my need for doodle. A doodle poll, which
it
I
takes
always
away
do
the
all
doodle
the time.
poll. Yeah,
right.
You're right.
Yeah.
It doesn't take away the You Can Book Me. You're right, because that actually is a little different in that it shows. You could kind of
constant open times, right?
You could do a little bit of the same idea and put up, but you'd have to manually go in and put up every time, set up every open slot time and all that.
So if I have a student that wants to meet with me, I have to
it's a little different
for them, but it takes away all those times I need to do a committee meeting and say, when can you guys meet? Here's my available times. That absolutely is going to be fantastic, because I've always done doodle polls in the past. So
what happened for me, Brian, is I got before I got Fantastical, I got invited. Somebody was trying to coordinate a meeting with a group of 8 of us, and he said, "Oh, I'll send out a poll." And I'm like, "Okay, great. So we got to go on the doodle poll or do whatever." I got an email, and it was this really nice looking email that just had the selections on there, very simple. I'm like, "Ooh, this is nice. I wonder what this is." And I looked at the top. It's like, "Oh, it's Fantastical." I'm like, "Okay, well then there you go. I've heard everybody talking about this calendar app, and now that it will do this, and it looks really nice and seems pretty easy, I'm on board.
It's amazing.
So
it's amazing.
Yeah, very happy with it so far. That's Fantastical by Flexibits, flexibits.com. Awesome. We are both big advocates now. So great. All right, Brian. So by my tally, You could come out of this bits listening to me and spending really nothing for one app that might be a little problematic. And then spend maybe $3 or $4 a month on a really cool calendar app. You're, by my tally, again, check my math on this. With yours, I'm looking at spending about $500. Is that what I heard?
I think so. I think that's about right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Right. Just want to make sure people are clear on the difference there.
Okay. And I would like to counter that by saying that Fantastical is so great that you'll probably have it for the rest of your life. So $3 a month for 20 years. Okay.
Hold on. I'll do the math on this. Just hold on a second. Go ahead and keep talking. I'm
$720, Alan. I mean, it's not rocket science. So sorry. So is that not correct? 720?
No, you're right. That's right.
Okay. Yeah. Right. Thanks. Yeah. So, 20 years, I'm back in the good, right? Because mine were one-time purchases, and you're good to go. And I'll also counter one more time and say, you just recycled a bit. I had that as a bit. I had Fantastical as a bit, I don't know, a year or so ago, right? I had Card Hop later, but I had Fantastical.
Yeah,
so
but
I'm not sure you get credit for that. I'm not sure you get total credit for that.
But if nobody really heard that episode and I didn't listen to you, it almost like it didn't count, right?
Yeah.
Now that I'm here to reinforce it to our much broader, larger audience that I've helped to build, and I think now it counts, and now it's a real thing. So, yeah.
Well, because I love it so much, I do believe it's something that could be a bit every year or every 6 months, because
we'll just make it
keep improving it. They keep improving it too. It's not like they're standing and saying, "You paid for this. Here you go. That's all you get." Yeah. They constantly are improving this thing. So, it's fantastic. I'll give you some credit for that. Even
Fantastical is fantastic. Brian Jackson, you can quote him on that. He just said that. So. All right. Well, that is our bits episode for tonight. So we had nice little mixture ones, little fun and adventure with my pick. Seeing how well it worked, but it's okay. Yeah, I promise. Detail does work. Just not in this live streaming platform here. Yeah, that's what I'm sticking to. I will report back in the coming weeks if for any reason I have more problems, because I don't want anybody to go out and get this app and use it and have some problems. But otherwise, it works really nice.
So what you're saying is there's probably going to be some additional money for tech support for having that app. So therefore, it probably balances out.
That's what it is. You get the app for free, and then you have to pay for tech support when it doesn't work right. So yeah, there you go. All right, Brian. Well, I'm sure people at home have their own bits. They have their own brothers and tech suggestions they like to throw out. We love to hear them. We love to hear your own suggestions of apps or tech or gadgets or websites that we ought to be checking out. So, Brian, if somebody did have a bits to share with us, how should they do that?
Well, yeah, as Alan said, if you have your own technology you'd like to suggest, we would love to take that suggestion and pretend like it was our own, very similar to what Alan did with Fantastical. We're good at that. So feel free to email us at info@themesh.tv. That's the email address to get to the Mesh, and you can tell us what kind of products you'd love us to share with the world, and things that you like and don't like, and we'd be happy to pass some of those along. You can also go to our website at www.brothers-in-tech.com and see all of our episodes, plus more information is going to be going up over time. So you'll be able to see some of our reviews, some of our suggestions, and then also give you a chance to kind of reach out to us. You can reach us through the contact form there. So you've got a couple ways. So we look forward to hearing from you and sharing more of these great tech ideas to our listeners.
All right. Well, I have got some dumbbells to purchase. We are actually working on.
You do actually have to use them. Just FYI, they don't.
I find a lot of value in just having them sit there and let people, when they come by, see them. Yeah, and be led to believe that I use them. That has just as much value for me as using them. Okay. No, in all seriousness, we are looking to convert our little unfinished basement into kind of a little workout area. I've got a couple boys living here that want to want to exercise, want to do some workouts and all that. And we just thought that'd be a good place to do it. So this is a good timely suggestion.
There you go.
Thank you for that, Brian. Yeah, that's good.
Cool.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for watching or listening to this. And we will be back next week with another topic on some form of technology. But until then, thanks so much for checking the show out, and we'll talk to you next time.
Bye-bye.